Thomas was huffing along the countryside, pulling Annie and Clarabelle. He was having a wonderful time. Thomas always makes sure that he's always on time. One day, Thomas was resting in the sheds when Sir Topham Hatt came to see him. "Thomas, you are to take the dairy train to the dairy factory, and you are to work with Daisy. Daisy is coming to Sodor." "Yes, sir, will do," huffed Thomas happily. Then Thomas huffed happily away. Daisy was grumpy. She did not like to pull anything. Then Thomas huffed in. "Come on, Daisy, let's get the delivery on time." Daisy was cross. "I'm only a rail car," she huffed to Thomas. "I do not like to pull anything." "Well, Daisy," said Thomas, "we're not trying to be bossy. Sir Topham Hatt said we have to do this." Then Billy huffed in. "Come on, Daisy. I know you can do it. We're not bossy. Trust me, I used to be just like you. I've been paranoid of engines bossing me around when I first came to Sodor. I think you're going through the same thing," said Billy. Daisy was cross. "But I do not like to pull anything. I'm only a rail car," she said crossly. Then Daisy rolled crossly away. Daisy hid at the Sodor Search and Rescue Center. "No one will find me here," she thought to herself. Then Thomas huffed in with Billy. "Come on, Daisy. Enough being lazy. Let's get the job done." Daisy was cross. "I have to be lazy because I am not pulling those freight." "Come on, Daisy. Don't be paranoid of us being bossy, or don't be lazy. Trust me, Daisy, I used to be like you before." "Yes," said Thomas, "and I helped Billy through it." "Well, anyways, I gotta go back to doing my job," and Billy huffed away. Then Daisy rolled crossly away. Daisy saw Sir Topham Hatt at the station, and Sir Topham Hatt was very cross. "Daisy," he boomed, "you have caused confusion and delay. The dairy has not been delivered to the dairy factory, and you have not pulled the passengers." Then Thomas huffed in and told Sir Topham Hatt all about what Daisy has been doing. "Sir, Daisy is refusing to pull the train," he told Sir Topham Hatt. Sir Topham Hatt listened. "Well, Daisy," he boomed, "if you don't pull that dairy train with Thomas, then you will not be carrying passengers," he said firmly. "Yes, sir," said Daisy crossly, and then she rolled away. Daisy was coupled up to the dairy train. She was still feeling grumpy. Then Thomas huffed in, and he buffered up behind Daisy. Then Thomas and Daisy set off with the dairy train. Daisy grumbled all along the countryside. "I don't like to pull this. I don't like to pull this," she said crossly. "Come on, Daisy, you can do it," said Thomas. Then there was trouble. Daisy was so grumpy she didn't notice that she has been diverted into a siding. Then Daisy hit the buffers and came right off the tracks. "Oh dear," said Daisy sadly. "What will Sir Topham Hatt say now?" Even Thomas was worried. "I don't know, but I know he will be cross for sure." Then Sir Topham Hatt arrived on board Gordon. He was very cross. "Daisy," he boomed, "you have been so grumpy that you've had an accident. You need to change your attitude, or else you will not be carrying passengers." "Yes, sir. Sorry, sir," said Daisy sadly. "And, sir, if I promise to change my attitude, can I please carry the passengers?" she asked. Sir Topham Hatt wasn't sure. only if you can stop being grumpy, he boomed. Daisy smiled. Thomas, she said, I'm very sorry for what I did. I promise I'll never act like this again. Now, can we please work on this together after you pull me back on track? Of course, said Thomas. And then, slowly, Thomas pulled Daisy back to safety. Thank you, said Daisy. Now let's get the job done. At last, the two friends huffed into the dairy factory where Sir Topham Hatt was waiting. Good job, Daisy. You're a really useful diesel. Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you. And Thomas and Daisy, now you guys can carry the passengers together. At last, Thomas dropped off the passengers with Annie and Clarabelle. Then he huffed away. Then Daisy dropped off the rest of the passengers where Sir Topham Hatt was waiting. Well done, Daisy, said Sir Topham Hatt. You have done all your work. Thank you, sir, said Daisy. Maybe pulling free wasn't so bad.